Hello everyone, welcome back to this series of lectures on the science of dental materials. If you will recall, we have done 2 lectures so far. The first on the oral environment, and then we went on to do the lecture on the environmental effect of these materials. Today, we're looking at the testing methods for the properties of restorative material. It will be an interesting lecture. Just tag along with me, sit back, enjoy yourself while you learn. Our lecture objectives. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to list and describe the different methods for testing the properties of restorative materials. You should know and understand the reason for carrying out the testing on dental materials. You should also be able to list the essential properties of dental materials. Our introduction. The successful performance of a material could depend on certain relevant properties. These properties can be derived by carrying out the following. 1. Laboratory tests. They are used for evaluation in conditions that are similar to the conditions in the mouth. Similar to conditions in the mouth. So the laboratory tests are never carried out in the mouth. And then you have our clinical trials. They are required to test the material in the oral environment for properties not easily investigated in the laboratories. So let's look at the properties and how they may be classified at different stages. We classify properties during storage. We can classify properties during mixing, manipulation, and setting. We can also classify properties of set materials. Let's now zero in on properties during mixing, manipulation, and setting. We have to look at the working time, which is the time available for mixing and manipulating a material. We're also looking at the setting time, time taken for a material to have reached a certain level of rigidity or elasticity. So how do we go on to carry this test? We use the Gilmore needles SL machine, which is a simplified picture of it that you see here. There are 2 needles. You see the first one able to penetrate into the material. That is a measure of a working time. As long as the Gilmore needle is able to penetrate the material, the time we're still recording is the working time. When the material sets, the needle cannot go beyond the surface, and that is a measure of a setting time. Let's conclude this lecture today by saying that your knowledge of the different methods for testing the properties of restorative materials, either during storage or during mixing, manipulation, and setting, or even of the set material, as well as the essential properties of these materials, will enable you select the right material for any case.